Growing up without real emotional warmth does not just sting while you are a kid. It leaves marks on your mind that you keep carrying long after you are grown. And if you did not get steady affection, comfort, or a sense that your feelings mattered, there are 5 very specific patterns you are probably still dealing with today. Let me walk you through what actually happens. And hey, if this kind of psychology talk hits close to home, feel free to follow along and tell me where you are watching from. It really helps me keep sharing this stuff. Alright, here is the deal. Developmental psychologists have found something pretty clear. When a child grows up without dependable love, maybe because the adults were distant, overwhelmed, or only showed affection when it suited them, it creates what experts call attachment wounds. And those wounds do not magically disappear. They follow you into adulthood. They influence how you see yourself, how you connect with other people, and how you move through your everyday life. Here are the 5 ways those early experiences tend to show up. First, you become incredibly alert in relationships. Your body learned early on that love could vanish, shift suddenly, or come with conditions. So now, even as an adult, you are always on the lookout for the moment someone might pull away. You pick apart text messages. You overthink changes in tone. You brace yourself for someone to leave, even when nothing is actually wrong. It drains you, but it is not you being dramatic. It is your old survival system kicking in. As a kid, you had to predict emotional storms to protect yourself. That is what psychologists call anxious attachment. Your brain is still trying to manage something it had no control over back then. Second, you have a hard time accepting love, praise, or any kind of kindness. A person gives you a genuine compliment, and instead of feeling good, you feel awkward or suspicious. Maybe you shrug it off. Here is why. Kids who grow up without emotional support often form what is known as a negative core belief. Deep down, you begin to believe, I am not worthy of love. So when someone offers it now, it clashes with the story you have been carrying for years. It feels strange, almost wrong. Your mind rejects the good because it does not match the old wiring. This leads to a painful cycle. You want love, you truly do, but you cannot hold on to it. Sometimes you even push away people who treat you well because their kindness feels unfamiliar, almost unsafe. Third, you turn into a people pleaser or a non-stop achiever. If love used to show up only when you behaved perfectly or accomplished something, you learn that your worth is measured by performance. So now you hustle for approval, for praise, for some feeling of being enough. You tell yourself, if I do more, give more, achieve more, maybe then I will be lovable. But it never feels like enough. You are trying to earn something that should have never needed earning. Psychologists sometimes call this earned secure attachment seeking, and it is exhausting, like running a marathon with no finish line. Hoping outside approval will fix an inner wound. Fourth, you may feel emotionally numb. When affection was unsafe or unreliable, your younger self protected you the only way it knew how, by shutting down your feelings. After all, if you do not feel anything, you cannot get hurt. So now, as an adult, you might struggle to connect with your deeper emotions. You care about people, but it is like you are watching your own life from a step back. Relationships feel flat. Moments that should feel meaningful barely register. It is not that you are cold. It is that your nervous system learned to stay neutral. Psychologists call this emotional blunting or dissociation. On the outside, you might look calm. Inside, you feel miles away from yourself. And finally, number 5, you are terrified of being a burden. If your needs were brushed off, mocked, or treated like problems when you were small, you learned to shrink yourself. So now you apologize way too much. You keep your struggles quiet. You try to handle everything alone because you do not want to inconvenience anyone. Somewhere along the way, you absorb the idea that your feelings, your needs, even your presence might be too much. But here is the truth I want you to hear. Having needs does not make you a burden. It makes you human. The people who taught you otherwise were wrong. And the good news? You can unlearn these patterns. If any of these 5 things sound familiar, please know this: nothing about you is broken. These behaviors are adaptations. They helped you survive a childhood that did not give you the emotional care you deserved. Recognizing these patterns is the first real step toward healing them. If you want more deep dives into topics like trauma, attachment styles, or how the mind works, check out my weekly newsletter in the description. I break everything down in a simple, honest way. No nonsense, just real insight.